let's move on to, we gotta finish this bracket out. The Undertaker greatest matches bracket. So we did round 1 and 2 last week. So now we're down to the final 8 matches. We have, for the 90s, The Undertaker versus Bret Hart at SummerSlam 1997, going up against Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at In Your House Bad Blood 97, same year. Then we have Undertaker and Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 26, going up against Undertaker versus Triple H at End of an Era Hell in a Cell WrestleMania 28. That's for the 2010s. For the 2000s, we have Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25, and then we have Undertaker versus Edge at WrestleMania 24.
Okay.
And then for the wild card, we have the triple threat match of Undertaker versus The Rock versus Kurt Angle. No, wait a minute. Or did we agree with that one, or was it the Jeff Hardy one? I think the triple threat match went versus
triple threat match.
Yeah, versus the Boneyard match, Undertaker versus AJ Styles at WrestleMania 36. So, with that being said, let's get on to it. Let's go to the 90s. Undertaker versus Bret Hart, SummerSlam 1997, or Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Bad Blood in Your House. Two great matches. Same year, actually, the Bret Hart match was to help the rivalry get to this matchup. And it's the first Hell in a Cell. So, I'm going with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, Bad Blood 1997.
That's what I'm going with. It's got to be Kane.
It's got to be Kane. Everything about that match is perfect. Alright, so now let's go to Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 26, to End of an Era, Triple H versus Undertaker Hell in a Cell.
I'm saying Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
I was actually about to say End of an Era.
Whew. I'm going with Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels.
Because I want to tell you this real quick, because the End of an Era, like, okay, the Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 26 was a good matchup. It was the end of Shawn Michaels' career, stuff like that. It was a streak on the line also. But that WrestleMania 25 one was better than me. And the End of an Era, it was Hell in a Cell. Shawn was the special guest referee in that one. So that was the next year afterwards. And
can you call it something else, please?
Hey, can you call it
Can you just call it Undertaker versus Triple H number 3? Because it definitely didn't end no eras. They still are both kind of wrestling till this day. So no era was ended.
You are right. So
that's like once in a lifetime, and they do on purpose. They're just gonna do it twice.
All right. Well, you know what? That kind of helps sway me. I'm going to take Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 20. Okay, there we go. It's more going. All right, now let's go into the 2000s. Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels, WrestleMania 25 versus Undertaker Edge, WrestleMania 24. It's got to go to Shawn.
It's got to go to Shawn. Shawn's gonna be fighting himself. Yeah,
he gonna be fighting himself. But then we got the wild card, the triple threat match: Undertaker, Rock, and Kurt Angle versus Undertaker, AJ Styles, the Boneyard match, WrestleMania 36.
I'm gonna go with the triple threat.
I'm going with the Boneyard.
You gotta flip a coin.
I'm going with AJ on this one, man.
Okay.
All right, please let it be the Boneyard matchup, because I don't need. Let's do it. The Boneyard match. Boneyard. All right, call it in the air.
Heads.
Let's look. Tails. It's tails. It's tails.
Okay.
It's tails. The Undertaker and AJ Styles Boneyard match advances. Now we're at the final 4.
So you think the Boneyard match was better than one of the best triple threat matches of all time?
Yes, because like I said, even though it was one of the best triple threat matches of all time, even though Boneyard is more of an Undertaker match, it was groundbreaking. They never did that before. Best cinematic. AJ, like I said, makes anybody look good. Undertaker looked real good in that match, even though he was old as dirt. And like I said, American Badass Undertaker, like I said, had some good matches, but that wasn't my favorite Undertaker. And like I said, I also think that, in my opinion, the triple threat from WrestleMania 20 was better. And you can even argue the triple threat between Cena, Rollins, and Lesnar was a rival too.
Well, there was no triple threat match at WrestleMania 20.
Oh, here we go. Okay, so now it's time for the Final Four.
Well, I'm just saying, Triple H fought Shawn Michaels for the title, and both of them got disqualified.
I think it's not how you talk about Backlash.
It happened again. They both got disqualified.
So, we got the 1990. So Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels in Bad Blood versus Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels WrestleMania 26. Bad Blood. You're not about to tell me Bad Blood loses against the Streak versus Career.
I don't have to go Streak versus Career.
You got to be fucking kidding me. You gotta be kidding me.
It was just a good match.
Over the first ever Hell in a Cell? It's gotta be Kane?
Yes. That's gotta be the end of Shawn Michaels' career?
Yeah, but it's... Oh, come on, man. First of all, the Streak Career... Give me 30 seconds of why it should go over the Hell in a Cell.
Because who thought The Undertaker was going to actually win? Who thought Shawn Michaels' career was going to be over? It was actually a good match. Let me just not even skip over that. The twists, the turns, the drama, the I won't go down attitude by Shawn Michaels. I mean, the Hell in a Cell match was very, very good. It was very, very good, but
both men in their prime.
They didn't even need the cell.
You're right.
They didn't need the cell to have a good match.
But here's the thing, though. They had that same match at the month before at Ground Zero, so that's why they need the cell to keep Triple H and China out.
Well.
And we got the greatest debut in wrestling history in Kane. So, call it.
If it weren't for Kane, who would have won the match?
It would have been Undertaker.
Yes. So we got so you mean to tell me you want this match and it has a interference in it? It don't even end clean technically. It's an interference in the match.
Because I'm calling you bullshit because you won the triple threat match when Undertaker was in there with two other guys opposed to the Boneyard match.
Both of them was no disqualification, so it don't matter.
Let's go on to all the matches that we talked about has been no disqualification except for the WrestleMania 25 one. So
okay, but all right.
So you call it.
Heads.
I'm gonna flip it. Here we go. He'll call heads. All right. Don't do this to me, Lord. Damn it. It's heads.
Let's go.
That is some blasphemy bullshit. Okay, fine.
Let's go.
That is some baby bull, and you know it. We got Undertaker versus Shawn Michaels at WrestleMania 25 versus the Boneyard match.
You already know what I'm going with.
It's WrestleMania 25. So, alright, the finals now is Shawn Undertaker WrestleMania 25 or Shawn Undertaker WrestleMania 26. It's 25.
Yeah, it's definitely 25.
Okay.
I made the whole argument for 26. 26 is a great match, but it ain't 25.
25 is the better match. 25 is the longer match, and I'm sorry, 25 was salty because he went for that moonsault thinking he was going to get that joint. All right, so it didn't happen. So yes, him versus Undertaker at 25 was the better match because nobody could follow that match afterwards. Nobody.
It should have been the main event, and then when they actually put it at the main event, it just didn't feel the same.
It didn't. It didn't feel the same at all.
It was still a good match, but I guess people was expecting some of the same callback spots.
Well, on top of that, one, they kind of used the disqualification stipulation, but not really, and it was a shorter match. They cut it. They cut 10 minutes out of that match. Mm-hmm. The first match was like 34 minutes.
Well, come on, yeah, they had the same room for Undertaker entrance.
But even in WrestleMania 29, in WrestleMania 25, Undertaker still had an elaborate entrance. Remember, he came from hell while Shawn Michaels came from heaven. That was longer than the 26 one. And they still got 34 minutes. And in WrestleMania 26, they got 24. They cut 20. It was a 24-minute match. I suppose it could have went longer. It kind of just ended abruptly to me.
Nah, it ended on time, especially when he slapped him in the face and Undertaker hit him with a super tombstone.
That super tombstone. That man jumped up
with it with both knees. I think he only did that twice. I think he did it to Shane and he did it to Sean.
Yeah,
only time.
Yeah, pissed. I used to pissed off too. So like, oh, fuck this. You gonna feel this? The super tombstone.
That's the one he should have did to Hogan.
Yeah, he gave Hogan. He gave Hogan.
Hogan talking about, oh, my neck, brother. And probably somebody would be like, all right, let me pick up and do it again.
Hogan had.
See, I can't be no wrestler in the business. I'll be like, oh, your neck hurt.
Your neck hurt.
Oh, it do, huh? Let me hurt it for real then. Let me lose my job for a good reason. Yeah, okay. That's what for real. If you're gonna go around telling lies, then we might as well make it true. We might as well make lies come true, right? Might as well.
Yo, bro, that shit had me die. I'm gonna tell you what, dude. That shit had me die because I was just like, he didn't mention, yo, just so over. Bro, he gave. If you anybody look at the footage. He gave him the safest, stiffest tombstone. Like, Hogan didn't move, okay? And Hogan was about 5 inches up from the ground where Undertaker's knees was at. And then he didn't even hit the chair. His back didn't even hit the chair. He was over there flailing. I was like, oh, this Hogan shit, man. And
I think that day Undertaker hated Hogan ever since. Like, because the interview, that probably was the Stone Cold interview, probably, when he told that story. Maybe another one. He was like, come on now, really? Like, he said Hogan was in the bag all laid out on the table, going to vents, talking about he done hurt my neck. Alright. It hurt for real.
Oh, that shit always has me dying when I hear that story.
That's probably why Hogan ain't want to take that choke slam from him.
Oh, that.
Remember.
You mean that worst choke slam ever?
Yeah, well, second worst now.
No, I don't think the AJ one was as bad as the Hogan one.
I was talking about Goldberg.
Oh, that Goldberg one was bad. That Goldberg one was bad.
And did the Hogan one end the match, or was that just like a
the Hogan one ended the match. That was the.
So did Goldberg.
Ugh. Yeah, those were some bad, very bad choke slams. Mm-hmm. You can't even do anything like that.